Celebrations in the streets as the Iraqi Prime Minister declares Mosul free from ISIS 3 years after the terror organization stormed that city and waged one of the fiercest battles in modern military history. Thousands of innocent civilians have died. Almost 1 million have been displaced from their homes. Now, the plight of the people of Mosul, as well as the volunteers who have been treating those wounded in battle, was the focus of a one-hour documentary that City News aired last night. How do you think this is going to end?
More blood with the civilian and military force. Rivers of blood. We didn't want more of rivers of blood. We just need a peace.
Yonas Abdillaha, who spent 2 years and 8 months living under ISIS occupation, predicted a flood of blood leading up to liberation. And sadly, he was right. I contacted Pete Reed today, the medic who runs the trauma stabilization point near the front lines in Mosul.
Shortly after you left the Iraqi security forces, they actually pushed into the old city, a very densely packed urban environment. It was a very difficult few weeks. We saw patients that were in the triple digits at times, a lot of very difficult trauma cases coming in on a regular basis.
And while the Iraqi government may have declared Mosul liberated, Pete says it's not over yet.
Everyone was celebrating, oh, Mosul's over, Mosul's over. I called my guys, I'm like, so is it over? They're like, no, there's still gunfights everywhere.
The trauma stabilization point has been moved from the mosque where I spent 2 weeks with volunteer medics and is now much closer to that pocket of resistance in the old city.
The old city itself is a horror show. There's like destruction everywhere, absolutely. It just smells like dead bodies everywhere.
I contacted Jonas today as well.
Hello, can you hear me?
The internet connection was too poor for video, so we texted. I asked him how he felt about Mosul being liberated. He said, oh, it's hard to say. I don't believe that moment will come when Mosul be free again. I asked him if he felt free and safe. He said now is just breathe the freedom. In the documentary, there were fears for the safety of these two brothers, who were a constant presence at the mosque. Their dad had been recently accused of cooking for ISIS at a time when suspected collaborators and their families were being targeted for revenge attacks. Pete believes this family is safe.
He was questioned by Iraqi security forces, and that a lot of people are concerned, but that's natural. After a very short time, the father was released, and the boys are back there.
And the boys, who like most children in Mosul have been robbed of 3 years of education, are now going back to school.
We got him some pencils and pens. And he's giggly as all can be. Even though the old city is not technically yet done, 2 kilometers away, Musab's, going back to school. It's a nice feeling.
Now, Pete's NGO Global Response Management plans to join forces with the Iraqi Fire Brigade to start sifting through the rubble of the old city, looking for survivors as well as recovering bodies. A number of people have contacted me wanting to donate to his NGO, and you can find details on how you can do that on our website. And if you missed the documentary, 2 Kilometers to Terror, Life and Death Under ISIS, it is also up on our website, citynews.ca.